So.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the FlubCast.
That's not
We
what
have shut the fuck up. We've got Dan, we've got Joe, we've got Brandon, and we have me. The
Hello, me.
returning
Hello,
OG
me.
me, Larry. Welcome. I'm going to kick it off today with the topic because I got to preach something to y'all.
Go on.
As you know, the other day I purchased for myself a weighted blanket. Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know,
And
but
I'm a supplement on it. The
Are we
audience
aware?
now knows. They are now aware. I purchased myself a weighted blanket. I haven't used it at night yet because it arrived today. However, I sat down on the sofa with it over me for about 5 minutes, and I slept for 30 minutes. Quickest I've ever fallen asleep.
How
Best sleep I've ever
was
had.
that on you for 5 minutes, but you slept for 13 minutes?
Did it come off you?
I was awake with it on me for 5 minutes. You stupid nincompoop.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's not the language we support in this cast. I think, is Larry off the cast?
Wait.
Oh, I'm off the
Wait,
camera.
Going back to how we
Yeah.
started, quote unquote, this episode, is this for Flub or is this the FlubCast, or is the
That's not what it's called.
The Flub Hub is the name of the channel.
That's not
Flub-
what it's called.
What is it called then? Enlighten us.
you surely must have an alternative if you were going to
No.
interrupt?
No, it's just not what it's called.
No, well then you're fucking wrong.
Right, FlubCast.
This is the
from
FlubCast.
now on, yeah.
That's not what
And
it's
that means we can
That's not what it's
we
called.
have more freedom to do other stuff, and it's kind of makes sense on the channel, right?
More freedom.
S-
Freedom from what?
Oppression.
I mean, we are gamers.
I think you'll find if you check the names channel, channel,
Yeah, but
text channel.
what's the name of this Discord then, Larry?
It's called bodily fluids, but you're the only
No,
person
that's
who control it.
technically wrong. It's,
Perhaps.
it's bodily fluids. So,
Yeah,
True, it is bodily fluids.
We might be drifting off into.
incoherence.
Anyway, weighted blankets. If you'll sleep badly, if you have sleeping problems, get one. It is amazing. The only issue I discovered with it is 9 kilos, in my opinion, not particularly heavy, right?
Wow.
However,
Flexing.
when 9 kilos is flexing all over you and just not staying in one place as a blanket, it is particularly hard to carry up the stairs whilst you have a child in your arms.
That's suspiciously specific, but
And put one of them down.
They're not my children, you know this.
Why,
In fact,
why are you
for all
sticking
the-
with
That
children
sounds
in life?
For all
So
the listeners
sus.
here, Larry doesn't not mind children. He actually quite loves children.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but like they're my brother and sister. It's not in like a
Yeah, I'm
creepy
sure that's what the relationship is. Yeah,
thing. Look, listen to me.
you're from the south, Larry. That never stopped you.
Yeah, but they're half brother and half sister. Yeah, that means
Don't
I'm not
say
interested.
yes to that.
No,
No,
that means
surely,
I'm not
surely
interested.
being half
Not like
kind of
that.
makes it like half illegal. So that's
Nah.
like,
you're the lawyer.
If
You're
it's
the
not fully
lawyer.
illegal,
here.
I'm not interested.
Halfly illegal. Is that?
If it-
wasn't there's room for discrepancy? You
There
know,
we go.
you're on it's only half my brother. I only fucked half of the asshole.
all right.
Off the way in.
Fucking strike that from the
I didn't
record
come.
of
We're 4
Order,
minutes in.
order.
And we'll talk about.
Larry, I'd like to develop your point if that's okay. Am I allowed to?
Are you gonna be a knob hole about it?
Am I ever? What I was going to say,
Heck.
going to university, I have met many people who their duvets are just like a thin sheet, and I cannot
And
fathom
some
how
people
that.
are very weird about that, you know.
Yeah, I know. I like the thickest, heaviest duvet you can get.
Yeah,
I want
like-
to feel the hug of the covers over me. I cannot take like a sheet. You get in and you're just like, right. I
Where is it?
need to feel something on
This
me.
is
I
paper.
need that
This is
pressure. I need the
paper.
weight.
I get what you mean.
If you want the weight, get
Yeah,
a
I
weighted
need-
blanket.
I need to know if I get like a cardiac disease as I sleep, that I'm gonna die because I just can't breathe.
It'll be too heavy. No, I get you. I get
Yeah.
you.
Just I'm 1% away from my lungs just giving up from the weight.
You see,
That's what I need.
I am 100% with you on this because even in the summer, I will still have some sort of cover on me.
Oh yeah,
I cannot.
I'll rather take off all my clothes and my skin than take off the cover.
I'm 100%. Maybe not my skin, because it's quite hard to get back on in the morning if you're in a rush.
Well, yeah, you got to use the zip and.
Wouldn't it be easier just to be
it's-
it gets
inside out?
Interesting point of conversation, Brandon.
Are we going to be sued?
By who?
Inside
This is-
out?
What,
This
you
is
have a
original
movie?
content, bro.
Or
Fucking hate true.
because if there's a choice, I'd rather get sued by Osmosis Jones.
True.
It's just-
So yeah, would it be easier if you were inside out?
Not sure.
What inquisitive conversation we have on this, and I'm the one who fucking brought it up.
I suppose some things would be different. You know, like you'd never sweat, but you'd also die of the cold.
No, you would sweat because all the sweat would be on the inside.
So you just have a massive pool of water on your inside. You'd slowly expand.
That would also
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
you'd-
Or you
that would
drown
also
in your
mean
own
that if you're
lungs.
male, you would effectively have a
Yeah, your lungs are on
vagina.
the
You'd be on
outside,
the outside, man. You're
Because
laughing.
the whole would
Oh,
just
yeah.
go
Also,
inwards.
it'd be really easy to breathe
We'd
because
all get reversed, wouldn't it?
see, there are many times when I want to dry out my insides. You know, things get too wet. You know, water
Just a
down.
bit-
I mean,
it,
yeah,
things
I-
like
Just a
that.
bit, yeah.
And it's really annoying putting like a hairdryer down my throat just to like try and
Yeah.
like, dry it out. Sometimes it'd
Yeah.
just be really nice if we could.
And sometimes you can dry it too much, and then you have to spit in your own mouth, don't you?
Yeah, it's so annoying. You used to dribble,
Spit
Or,
in your own mouth.
pour
It looks like
Never
a
done that,
carnival
like,
game.
a Vimto down your throat.
That's a bit weird, man. I'm not gonna
Um,
lie. You've never done that.
You never looked in the mirror and called yourself a slut and then just.
Yeah, man. You know?
Oh, every day. It's what keeps me humble. But I'm never like,
What keeps me humble?
well, yeah. But like, I don't aim for. I aim
Keeps me
for the
humble
head.
is cummy crumble.
Why would you spit on your head, you
Aim
weirdo?
for the
In the
head.
mirror.
what's
In
your
the mirror.
hair?
It's because.
We've all seen Larry's hair. That bitch don't wash his hair.
Ooh.
kidding me? At least I've got hair, you bold bitch.
It's not true anymore.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had that Mel Pattern boulder surgery.
Hey, Dan, lift your fringe up, bro.
What fringe?
Exactly.
So going back to the duvets, I get what you mean with wanting a fairly hefty one, but thing is, for like the past year and a half, I've not been sleeping under a duvet, just the softest blanket I've ever encountered. There's a couple reasons for this. I think there's only one actually. One reason is, you know how just boiling hot my room gets by how much I complain about it.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
room is.
Despite having windows
it's an
open and everything, it's boiling. So
You got big windows as well, to be fair.
that blanket has saved me. But now it's a bit freezing, no matter what. Except not always.
Your room is cold.
It's strange, I know. This is how far I've had to go.
That's not possible.
This is how far I've had to go with the balance of it. Alright, so I put radiator on for heat. Gets too hot, turn it off. Open windows. It stays like that until it gets freezing. Like not too. It's such a balancing act, and it's sending me.
I'm gonna be honest, Chief. I can't imagine your room getting cold.
I can't either. Every time I go in there, I've got a jumper on, and by the time I leave, I'm wishing I could strip to my boxes.
I mean,
And that-
I think
Yeah,
we'd
it's
allow
not
it.
just 'cause of the heat,
your,
you know
your
what I mean?
room because I've gone in dehydrated and then. Oh fucking hell.
You start shriveling up, don't you?
Well, it's granted it's an
Wrinkly
oddity,
guy.
it being cold, but it does happen.
But that's why we never come to your
Yeah,
house,
not
Brandon.
pandemic.
Well, that and COVID.
Oh yeah.
And the general unliking of me, I imagine. But other than that,
Yeah, I mean, you smell a bit.
of what?
Ooh.
Fucking
Nuggies.
nuggies.
Nuggies. Ooh, okay. I've got a topic. Screw the blanket.
I mean,
one,
I
you
was
should.
finished with my part of it, so
Wow.
I'm okay with this.
If so, you're on death row, right?
Yep, I'm loving it.
Right.
The Green Reaper comes up to you.
What am I on there for?
8 counts of child
You
molestation.
out-
and
we-
one
I was
count,
almost-
one count of
Why did you... I was going to say that.
one count of not playing Call of Duty on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, like you got to do that. To be fair.
So the Grim Reaper comes up to you. He's like, "Chief, I'd like to chop your head off.
How?
What do you want? as your final meal. So what would you have as your final
Nuggies.
meal? Right,
I'd have a right big fuck off burrito.
a big
that what you-
burrito. I was not expecting that.
Love a big
I
burrito.
I am going for 24-ounce tomahawk steak. I want it cooked perfectly rare. I want a side of.
By rare you mean blue.
No, I want it rare because tomahawk steak's got a fat core that you need to render down. 'cause
Once
it's
the
a real-
metal gets stuck in your throat,
It's a good point, Brandon.
I mean, if you're eating a tomahawk,
Yeah, man, he's eating a whole ass tomahawk.
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna bite through the.
That's
the
why
metal.
the Grim Reaper called you cheap. Okay, now it's making
that makes
sense.
no sense.
Wait, is the Grim Reaper bringing us our last meal in this?
Yeah, that's how it works. Every
Yeah,
Death
man.
Row mate
He
gets
did
asked by
bits
the
now.
Grim Reaper
It's,
what they'd like to eat.
there were-
He doesn't deliver it, but he's just curious.
Satan had to make some redundancies, so he had to
He's
do
he's
one
on a
job now.
podcast
Yeah.
as well.
He needs content.
He needs content. We all need content. Right, continue your
Tomahawk.
Anyway, yeah,
meal, Larry.
rare 24-ounce tomahawk steak.
Right.
I want a side of mac and cheese with black truffle oil on it because that bangs. With panko breadcrumbs crisped on the top.
Ooh,
I want-
panko breadcrumbs
Larry.
created by
Yeah.
electrolysis.
Are you
Gotta
just
respect it.
submersively promoting Butcher and Catch because they serve this shit?
Submersively.
No, Disco is
You mean wait?
subtly.
No, I know what he's trying to say. Submersively. No.
Subliminally.
Subversively?
Subliminally.
Subliminally. No, I'm not.
Subversively. Subversively.
Subliminally.
No, this is just a collection of the tastiest things I've eaten in my life.
You're trying. Professional.
Uh,
High quality production value.
I want a side of mac and cheese for my steak, and then I would also like for pudding. Ooh.
Pudding.
Yeah, I'm going the whole hog.
Get.
Fuck off! It's my
So that's meal,
last meal.
not 3
You're
course
going.
meal.
You're going whole hog, bro. You're playing Roadhog.
Road
Nine
hog.
years.
Haven't heard that name in years.
Actually, I haven't.
Yeah, fucking banana split. It's got to be banana split. Loads of ice cream, loads of whipped cream, chocky sauce. Mm.
Chucky
Evidently, Larry's
Right.
put far more thought into this than me.
sauce.
Hey, well, you know.
To be on death row, man.
Well, you know,
Only
there's
to find out how many kids he's got in his house.
no. It's
Just don't
it's,
have walls. He's just got kids.
it's when I
kids
finally
are in the wall.
snap. It's when I finally snap and murder you, Dan.
I wasn't even speaking.
Yeah, but you were speaking, and B, you were the first person to bring up the child molestation against me.
That's true.
Also, like, I'm not even bad.
That's not true.
Do you
Mm.
want to hear what my final meal would be?
Go on.
Go on then, give us your bullshit.
I'd get a buffet because it would go on forever.
And then you wouldn't be killed because you were still finishing your final.
Yeah, but
meal.
would I also live forever?
Well,
No,
Hey.
but it doesn't-
Well, no, but it's the Grim Reaper.
We've been
It's the
over
Grim
this.
Reaper,
He
he's
doesn't
coming for
deliver
me.
the food. He's just curious.
Grim Reaper ain't giving it to you. Grim Reaper's going, what would you like to have?
What would
Cool.
you have if you could, which you can't?
It's just that clip out Hot Fuzz
Here's a
saying
cup
shame.
of water and a shame. Here's a cup of water and a mouldy apple. Get that down, yeah.
Civvy.
That sounds kind of nice.
But that's just what he gives everyone.
Freak.
It's just an epidemic of just...
Freak.
Anyway.
Any other topics?
Yeah, I'd like to address a point that I
Go on.
built up that I spoke about last week, which I feel I was interrupted by all of the memes that were going on, the gifs that were being posted, and the
Right.
the stock talk that was happening. I briefly mentioned
Don't know.
Outlast 1 versus
Oh,
Outlast
that was
2.
towards the end when I actually felt like we
Um,
were getting into the groove of things, yeah?
Yeah, and then I had to cut it short for time reasons, not my fault. And I have subsequently finished watching playthroughs of both of these games, and I've realised the issue with Outlast
Go on.
2. It doesn't feel like a cohesive game. It feels like a lot of elements just shoved together.
With not much
Like,
of a
Outlast
tether
1,
to World Seas, yeah.
yeah. with Outlast 1, you were in the asylum, you were going up and down through the halls, but you kept backtracking on yourself and going, I've been here, big scary bastard's gonna
You
rip
get
my
to
neck
know
off or
the
whatever.
environment.
But in Outlast, yeah, exactly, you get to understand it. But in Outlast 2, they've introduced the whole having a school, like a mental, your character goes mad and goes to a school in visions or whatever. But towards the end of the game, you get like 5 minutes in the real world, 5 minutes in the school, 5 minutes in the real world, 5 minutes in the school. And it's totally disorienting, and it's not scary. Towards the end, it just becomes annoying to like. I was like, "Fuck it, we're back in the school again. Why am I here?" I was getting into the real world story, and then when the school gets interesting, you get shoved back into the real world.
I
It's like, what the fuck is
saw
this?
something about Outlast 2 about how the actual goal of rescuing your wife in the game and this whole kind of past thing to do with school. How connected are they? Because I heard somewhere that they were barely connected with like the two plots going on.
The connection is tenuous. I'll admit. It's like the whole. I forget the name. I think is it Monarch? No, that's the Godzilla people.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
It's another. The company that's evil in Outlast 1 that makes the like spirit demon thing appear, have been doing experiments in that region and caused the people to go mad, effectively. But like, there aren't. In Outlast 1, it was teased with documents. Like, you read the if you found them, you read them, and like, oh, that's going on, sort of thing. But in Outlast 2, it's like, it's less sort of teased, and it's just like, you find one document that explains everything that's going on, and you're like, well, okay then. That's, yeah. And the link is, there's some big pillars that emit a weird sound that make people go mad. That are put by the same company. That's it. There's nothing to do with the Wall Rider project. It's just the same company.
I think that'd be alright if they, from what you described, because I can't remember too much about it, because I watched a few things to do with it. But I think that would be fine if the same company was loosely or somewhat involved. If it was handled in a what sounds less subtle way than a single document explaining everything, like it was built up to. So it's sort of like with. I guess with Black Mirror, how a bunch of the stories have like certain like Easter eggs of sorts. It's just like, oh, that same technology there is used in this story, but to a lesser effect, or just in the background. Like, I couldn't understand that more.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been better if it was just sort of like little Easter eggs dotted around, instead of just like, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Move on. That's all you're getting.
And I guess without.
They're doing an Outlast 3, which.
What?
Has anyone seen the teaser trailer for Outlast
Co-op
3?
game.
No.
Oh, it's a multiplayer game.
Is it a
It's
co-op
or
game?
multiplayer game, I forget.
Interesting. But I know that it's like it takes place before that, and it looks promising. Like the opening of it seems directly linked with the first game, and like they've gone, well, Outlast 2 didn't work. What worked in the first one? Let's like retool it, update it, and make it better, sort of thing. If you get me.
The thing is, with Outlast and Outlast 2, like, obviously you can't fight back against the enemies. Fight back! You can't fight back against them.
Yeah. Fight back, you coward.
But I guess, like, in Outlast 1, there's a feeling of progression and getting better in how much you get to know about the mental asylum. And, like, knowing, like, the different areas and where to go. And, like, oh, I've been here, so I know it well, so I know what routes to take. But, like I said, with the Outlast 2, it's just different segmented areas, isn't it? Or just, like, you never really revisit places that you've been to before.
No, not really. The one link between them all is some mad lady with a pickaxe trying to cut your dick off.
It's kind of, she more or less smashes
that's
it,
like-
rather than...
True, it's like an axe. Axe to the pelvic region. But like,
I mean,
that's
does a game not having areas connected, like just a one area that you revisit, or does that make?
Nah, definitely not.
No, but it's just the way it was done. Like in some games, like you'll go through an area and you'll get a chance to, finish the area, if you see what I mean, and you'll feel completed in the area. But in Outlast 2, it's like it's hard to. It feels like there was so much more to do, but you were completely forced down this path, and it wasn't even that scary, in my opinion.
It didn't benefit from
Like,
that aspect of it.
No, Outlast 1 was like creepy. There's always someone watching you. Outlast 2 is like, bah, I'm a hillbilly with my knob out. I'm gonna cut you.
And again, that does sound quite scary.
Admittedly, what it sounds like more that you didn't enjoy Outlast 2, but it sounds like it was doing something different rather than something bad, in my opinion. I've never played it, but that's what it sounds like.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I think the reason we just say it like that is because it's a good point of comparison. In that, you know, obviously the number one was like a smash hit, and then like number two. Granted, I guess it had high expectations. I can't remember it at the time, but I guess it had high expectations, and I could probably agree with the fact that it tried to experiment and do some things different, but it just unfortunately wasn't as good, or even as a horror game on its own. From what I'm aware of it, it just doesn't succeed as well as a lot of others, or it's just like there's a lot of missed potential with how it dealt with the actual scares.
Yeah, but do you not feel like Outlast 1, because it was a lot lower budget, it had to do the one area that you go around all the time? But Outlast 2 was a lot more dynamic.
Yeah, I see where you come from.
And like it's a different thing, because you had you're complaining about how it was open, and you just run away into the fields, is what you were saying. But do you not? I think that's probably, it gives you more options as a player.
Yeah, no, that's
like
good.
I feel like if you played Outlast 1 again, you just do the same thing because of how like
set it is. I see where you're coming from.
Ultimately, I guess it just comes down
think the main
to
issue
the way
for me,
it's handled.
I think another main issue for me is just like the sort of horror. Outlast 1 was like a creepy, like there is always someone watching you horror. But in Outlast 2, it was like wandering and wandering and wandering. Oh, there's someone coming to kill me. I'll run away from that. It's more. They went more for jump scares in this one, in Outlast 2, if you see what I mean. Rather than
tension build up that a lot of the first had.
Yeah. Because in the first one, I think a good like 3/4 of the story, you're trying to follow literal blood trails that a mad preacher has laid for you on the floor because you think there might be a way out following that person, but you keep getting sidetracked, sort of thing. And it's creepy because you'll go through an area and then suddenly there'll be a blood trail. It's like, he knew I was going to come here. How did that happen? You know, and this is all sort of, you know, go on.
I would just think, because when I think of Outlast, I think of like that really big guy that chases you about. That's
Chris Walker.
Probably, I don't know. That doctor which hunts you down to do experiments on you, or like even in the DLC, that mad guy who tries to cut your dick off. There's a lot of dick cutting now I think about it. But from what I know about Outlast 2, it just doesn't really have any of that when it comes to the unique kind of characters that draw you in, or stuff like that. I mean, I know there's the woman with the pickaxe.
Like the judges.
I know there's the woman with the pickaxe, and I think there's like some kind of hunchback or something in number 2, but they just had none of that drive that the first one did when it comes to trying to escape them.
Yeah. It didn't feel as atmosphere. I think they just got the atmosphere off. I think it could have been a very good game if the atmosphere was slightly tweaked. If you get what I mean. You just I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I'll admit. I'm giving my opinions. I don't expect you, you know. You've stopped me there.
I've got a topic.
Go.
I recently watched through all of the Pirates movies, and by all of them, I mean the first 3.
Best ones.
Yeah.
All pirate films.
Pirates of the Caribbean, to be specific. Specifically, Curse of a Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, and At World's End. Does that satisfy you? Right.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, those movies are incredibly good. Because I'd seen them before, but I hadn't seen them in years. I think I've seen Black Pearl maybe 3 times, and like Dead Man's Chest and Atwell's End like maybe once or twice. And they're just really well-made movies. Which, like, logically shouldn't work, considering they were based off of a Disneyland ride. That's where the first one came from.
Yeah.
And especially with how well it blends tone in a lot of cases. Like, it's funny, but it's pretty tense at times. And I was thinking about how they come across more timeless than I thought, with how much it does, like, setups and payoffs within one scene, or just the CGI of Davy Jones, because I mentioned in one of the chats before, it's still better than most Marvel movies when it comes to CG characters, in my opinion.
Yeah, to full CG characters.
And obviously the soundtrack's banging.
The soundtrack is banging. Who was your favourite character?
Well, besides...
There is a correct answer.
I know, and I'm trying to think of... Well, obviously, Jack Sparrow is
That's not the correct answer.
Oh,
I'm
who is
sorry.
it?
You
Oh,
are the
who is
weakest
it?
link. Goodbye.
Who is-
It's Barbosa. He's Barbosa.
Larry has a weird hard-on for Barbosa.
Barbosa is fucking an absolute
Larry, I
dog.
think you'll find yourself
He is a
in
crusty
the
con
yes.
red tags.
Barbosa. Oh,
What's
just
everybody's opinion that the films get worse as they
Well,
go on?
Agreed.
considering I've had the option to watch the other 2, and I haven't. It's probably...
Yeah.
I've seen the 4th one once, and I can't remember a thing about it. And I haven't seen the 5th one.
the issue with the Pirates films is the first one was really good. Like,
Yeah.
it was all piratey with like an element of supernatural.
Sorry.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. The most fun of that film was the pirate adventures and like pirate scallywagness,
Which is
that
fairly
happened.
niche
And it was
when it comes to movies.
yeah, and I think it was done really well. And I think that sort of scallywag hearty thing is done really well throughout all of the films. But I feel like they focus too much on the supernatural part from the first one onwards. If you like,
no, I'd
that's
agree.
fair. Although I still...
I feel like Davy Jones is a good fit,
Mm-hmm.
being like a massive legend on the sea.
Well,
And-
I think they did Davy Jones, but somehow made him grounded. I think it was after what was the Kraken one?
Dead
Uh,
Man's
No,
Chest,
where
the
it gets
second
eaten
one.
by Kraken.
Dead
It's,
Man's
it's
Chest,
after that one that shit gets a bit stupid.
Yeah, I can understand. I
yeah.
enjoy...
And then
Like they start doing the Harry, like they're like, there's a prophecy. Oh,
yeah,
of course it is.
and then yeah,
I mean,
Dead Man's Chest is, in my opinion,
yeah,
the best
that...
one. No, sorry, Black
I
Pearl's the
thought
best
Black
one.
Pearl would be my favourite, and it was, until I rewatched Dead Man's Chest. Because it's... For how long a movie is, and how many characters it tries to, like, keep track of, it's paced really well.
It is.
And I just love everything to do with the Kraken and the way they handle that. Because it's a lot of proper build-up from just seeing a ship disappear to then, like, seeing this second ship attack when you never see it in its entirety. And the theme that it has.
Yeah.
Is...
And then you get one where you're like on the deck of the ship as it's attacking, sort of thing.
But yeah, I think I enjoy the third one, Atwell's End, a lot. It's not as good as Dead Man's Chest, in my opinion. And there was a couple of times, like, by that point, I was just, when they brought up some of the more supernatural stuff, I was like, yeah, I'll go with that. Because I did find it fun, and it wasn't too overblown for what they had already kind of set up. There's a couple of times where it goes a bit questionable, of just this is a thing
Yeah.
now. But one thing that I weren't really a fan of, or at least I think is missed potential, is just how in between Dead Man's Chest and Outworld's End, the Kraken is just killed. But it's just
Yeah.
Is it?
exactly.
Yeah, washing up on a beach and it's
Yeah,
dead.
the whole thing is
Yeah.
like spoilers if you haven't seen the movies, but I think everyone has. The whole thing is that the British trading company had got Davy Jones's heart.
East India.
East India Trading Company had got.
Alright, the East Indies were owned by Britain, so Brandon's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, but the
Anyway,
company's called the East India
you're
Trading
both right.
Company.
You're both right. The East India Trading Company had
Shut
gotten
up.
control of Davy Jones' heart to pretty much control what he commanded the Flying Dutchman to do, so that they could pretty much control the seas from piracy. And in between the movies, to make sure that Davy Jones was loyal, he ordered him to kill the Kraken, which is mentioned once before the characters just wash up on shore. It's just, it's dead Kraken. And it's like, that would have been so good to include in the finale. There's our entire final act. I get how they might have wanted to concentrate everything more, and the Kraken is almost a win card, but I feel like they sort of included it, especially with how
They
much.
should have given the Kraken. Sorry,
I was gonna
sorry,
say,
continue.
considering how much it was integral to the second one, not even with the actual scenes, with how they attack the ships.
Well, it's chasing
Yeah,
Jack.
like
The plot of the second one is that it's chasing Jack, and Jack wants it off his back, effectively.
yeah, and that it's not even the attacks that it did on them, which was the integral part. It was how it was hunting Jack down. So I just feel like it's a big missed opportunity to not include that in the third one. It makes sense with the ways that they justify, but I still think it's a missed opportunity.
It completely makes sense.
They
I feel like they could have.
included
Yeah, go on, Deb.
a giant swimming butt cheeks called the Clappen, and they have a big fight.
Not where I thought you were going to take it. Okay.
It's just
Well, the Clappen versus the Kraken.
Yeah.
Who's
Who do you
your
think
money
would
on?
win between the Kraken? See, I think Japan will win. Because whatever happens, right? Whatever happens,
Hentai
because there's two outcomes I see,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, either hentai porn or the cheeks, the Clappen obviously is going to kill the Kraken. They get free teriyaki from that.
that is true. That is true.
I think Pirates of the Caribbean could have been improved if it was an animated child's cartoon that was 2D.
It was 2D.
Could you
Yeah.
Have you-
show you're working?
Yeah, show you working.
So Peppa Pig is wildly known as one of the best TV shows. I've seen maybe 2 episodes of it, and I'm astounded. I cried multiple times, and I just think every media should follow.
All right then.
Okay.
Uh,
I would like to disagree. I have watched a lot of Peppa Pig.
Right?
And after the first season, if you're not a child,
Oh yeah, true. The Peppa Pig getting the breast and large enhancement surgery. That was a bit of a weird plot twist.
and
after
the
season
cannibalization
1,
of Daddy Pig.
Yeah, I don't know what
he's
the writers were
definitely a
thinking,
serial
but-
killer.
It's
It
just
was
sort of Mr.
definitely
B.
a serial killer. The dad in Peppa Pig. It's definitely a serial killer.
Who was that guy in Holland or something that locked his daughters and wife in a basement?
Oh, what
One-
the Fritzl family?
That's it, Fritzl. He is definitely Fritzl.
he was
You heard it
pissed
here.
off.
He is
You
an
watched
heard
it
it
architect. He's an architect in. Look, I'm
I
up
thought
on
he was
my
a performance artist.
No, he's an architect.
So-
I'm up. Look, don't come at me.
I have one more thing I want to say about pirates before we move on with this Fritzl stuff. It's interesting how they are Disney movies before Marvel and all the live action ones. And it's funny just seeing how dark they were willing to go. Like At World's End starts out with a child being hanged. It's a bit ballsy.
It does, doesn't it?
It starts out with a child being hanged. So, and to go up that from, it's funny.
Aye, but he sings a good song.
Sings a great song. Yo ho.
Ho ho.
Pirates Night for me.
I've got a hot topic that's hot on everyone's
You've got,
mind.
for someone saying they didn't
You've
have
got
many
a
at the
hot
beginning of
topic,
this, you have a
right?
few.
Look, I just come up with them off the fly. You know, I'm shooting from the hip here. Something me and Joe were talking about this morning, hotly debated. King Kong versus Godzilla. Who's gonna win?
Godzilla.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
no,
Always,
there's
bro.
going to be a third threat. That is
Yeah.
probably Mechagodzilla, and the two will team up after fighting each other like 3
No,
times.
it's
and
gonna
then
be
they'll attack
the-
it together and teamwork.
It'll be the Clappen.
Oh,
Yeah,
obviously
true.
the Clappen.
The Clappen's gonna win.
I'm just
He's
saying,
gonna
mate,
eat them both up with both cheeks.
God-
Suck it into the
Godzilla
asshole.
would destroy that fucking monkey.
Nope.
Yep.
Well, yeah, Larry, but it's not a. It's a film.
Don't be that guy after
like-
introducing the Clappen.
No,
We
but the
have just
Clappen is
spent
real.
We have just spent
For
15
all
minutes
fear.
talking
Fear the
about Pirates of
Clappen.
the Caribbean. You cannot deny me the right to talk about King
You
Kong versus
cannot.
Godzilla.
It cannot be denied. Well,
I
I'm
can
with,
deny
I'm
whatever
with
I want,
Larry
Larry.
on this. Godzilla would win.
Yeah,
We all know
yeah.
Godzilla isn't gonna win.
No, neither of them are going to win
Let's go-
because there's going to be
Do you, know who's,
Mechagodzilla.
do you know who's gonna win?
The Clappen.
Hugh Grant.
No,
Oh.
humanity, because they're the ultimate hero. In any
I swear, if they fucking pull, because of Mechagodzilla, if they fucking pull, what if humans are the real monsters again for the third movie in a row? No, fourth.
Oh, they
fourth
definitely
movie.
will. It's a
Yeah.
running theme.
Do you know what they'll do? Right, so Kong's gonna
You
kill
say fucking
Godzilla,
crap.
and then the
True.
the military chief's gonna wait. So the only reason we didn't kill Godzilla was because he's resistant to nukes, and then they're just gonna nuke King Kong.
Yeah, man.
I rate that. Yeah, I'll take that.
What they're gonna do?
Man.
Yeah, he's a radioactive resistant
Smartest animal always
monkey.
wins. It's just how it be.
Yeah, but his name is
Godzilla's a
Godzilla.
fucking dickhead.
He is
Godzilla
king of the
is
monsters.
the wolf.
Actually,
Nuclear
Larry is Godzilla.
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 He's a
A
fish.
a weapon to surpass Godzilla.
No, he's a lizard. You fuckwit.
Why does he swim in the wet then? Because he's a fish.
Why do humans swim in the
No,
wet?
because loads of lizards.
Why do humans swim in the
I do
wet?
love all those.
Because it's an enjoyable pastime. Suck your mum. God, fucking Kong is gonna smoke that lizard, bro. I tell you.
I
That
do love
King
how
Kong.
at the end of every fight, he just says item out and walks back into the ocean.
He just returns to the wet. Where's Kong gonna go? He's gonna return to monkey.
Just kills about 12 people. Then
I bet.
Peace.
But yeah, God, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Imagine how big Godzilla's shits are gonna be.
It's inevitable,
those
is what you're
motherfuckers are
wording it
atomic.
as. It's inevitable.
I
Oh,
reckon
get
Bryan
ready
Cranston will
to
come
be.
back in King Kong vs Godzilla. I reckon he'll come back to
What
life.
as the third
Zero.
kaiju?
No, I reckon he'll just like pop up because didn't he die in the first Godzilla film?
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, yeah. Like
Whoa.
20 minutes in.
It's been about 5 years.
6.
Do you know what
7.
I want? Do you know what I want to happen? So Charlie Kelly's gonna walk onto scene and be like, right. So I thought this
What is this Charlie
Nick,
Kelly?
You need like
Is
two
this Charlie
pilots.
Kelly? It's Always Sunny or Charlie Kelly Pacific Rim?
Both. That's what I was going on to. You know, we need a mech suit that requires 2 users with like an emotional connection to use.
And
I'm gonna call it the Clappen.
and both Godzilla and King Kong get into it to pilot it.
Yeah, and they each operate one cheek, and the suction power of the asshole is.
Thing is, I
too
always
great.
thought the main
That's
main
what
attack would
sucks the
just
world into a
be
black hole.
a sonic blast, with how strong the cheeks are at clapping. I thought that would be the main attack.
Well, no, the issue is they made it as a stealth vehicle, but then on testing, the cheeks were just too loud.
Oh,
It's 'cause
what
it- it's
does
'cause
that
it-
mean?
The Clappen is shaved.
Clappen is shaved.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my cheeks are too dummy thick, and people can hear me coming.
Well, the Clappen is shaved, which means when it walks, like shit can just.
Can you
slip
do
out
an
of it,
illustration
even
of
though
this
it's
for
walk-
us? Without the rest of the.
Yeah, MS Paint that one.
Paint it. MS
Yeah,
Paint
while,
it. bro, come on.
while we're
I'll
doing
end
this, yeah.
bit.
So I'm glad we agreed that Godzilla would win.
You
know,
just
it's a
fucking
Clappen.
wouldn't though.
He's got
He would.
fucking.
He's a walking nuclear
He's got fucking
reactor.
atomic breath.
So what, bro? Our BMK reactors never explode.
Do you know who would win? The Big Mummy Milkers from Resident Evil.
The amount of photos,
She's-
the
you
amount
know,
of
you know the-
photoshops I've seen of that when it's just Godzilla in the water and just her above the skyscrapers.
God.
You know the
Confirmed
devs
her
have
height,
confirmed
yeah.
her height. Yeah, she's like 9 foot.
9'3".
9'6" or something. If I say something,
Yeah.
I know.
Fuck.
But it's quite funny. They released an official like statement.
And it-
The head of the design team was like, "We're really glad everyone is enjoying our design." Like, I think they're doing a little bit more
Thing
than
is,
enjoying.
if
it,
you
my
didn't,
friend.
if you just saw the statement
someone
they
massive
gave
tits.
and how it was laid out, you'd think it's an apology. You'd think it's a CG Project Red
yeah,
like
it
delay.
was a little bit, wasn't it?
Of just, it's just
Has Cyberpunk been fixed yet?
no.
No.
It's not done.
It's gonna be like fucking. Is Rust still in early access?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Let me
It's
check.
gonna be like that.
Or should be like
Forever in early access.
DayZ or whatever it's called.
DayZ's chilling, bro. I think that came out of early access.
Oh, did
I
it?
think
I
Yeah,
bet
bro.
there's very little difference.
a while ago.
I thought he just dropped off the face of
Fucking
the earth.
hell!
No man.
Rust.
some-
you thought
some people, some
you
people
thought
still play.
Rust had dropped off the face of the earth, Larry.
No, DayZ.
That's
Oh,
a,
right,
that's a first.
Yeah, you dickhead.
Fucking Rust is £31.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
because people will pay it.
yeah.
I think I got that game for free, you know.
I got it for free.
Alright.
Leon bought it.
All right. Fucking hell.
Leon bought
It was
you.
so long ago we played it, and I don't know exactly why, but I thanked him, and I meant to pay him back, and I don't think I ever did.
Wow.
No, the game is out fully. It looks like Rust.
Oh wow.
That wasn't the description
Yeah, well,
saying it
Cyberpunk
looks
isn't,
rusty,
so-
by the way. It's just
Cyberpunk is pretty much still in early access. I'm just saying. Like,
Not
the
even
fuck?
in beta, bro. It's in alpha.
apparently like the.
It's
The
still
best game ever is also in early access or beta.
What's the best game ever?
B-Hop.
Tarkov.
Oh.
True. Yeah, no, it is Tarkov. Wait, no. What is it fucking called? Bear. What's it? Vodka Bears and Roast or whatever it is. That shit
Stalingrad.
you bought me. That shit's lit.
It's the best.
I saw something about Cyberpunk, and the actual devs working on the game thought it'd be released to 2022. It's just, huh?
Weren't they massively rushed
Yeah.
by their managers and shit?
Just a little
And
bit.
cunts to fuck.
Perhaps.
Like,
I-
yeah.
That's kind of hot though.
What cunts to fuck?
Yeah.
Do you want to get crunched by Resident Evil 8? Mummy Milk and
I
Lady
don't
Don't
actually find her that alluring. I'm gonna be honest. Which I feel
Is that
like
because
might
you're not
be-
taller?
That might be a controversial statement.
She
Thing
seems
is,
a
it
little bit
Probably is.
stabby
You're
for my
probably in the
taste.
minority. You're probably in the minority
I
thinking
don't-
that.
Well, I just like my women small and like malleable.
Compact.
Dan wants to be able to. Dan wants a child-sized woman. That's what he wants.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
this-
like that
yeah, pretty much.
phrase.
He wants a child-sized woman
I
to go
don't
along
like
with his
that phrase
child-sized
at
penis.
all.
Hey.
I just want to close my eyes and imagine they're a lot younger than they are.
Oh
Well-
god! Oh Dan! Oh Dan! I think that's
Sake.
good. Dan's no longer going to be a lawyer anymore.
I was never going to be a lawyer, Larry. You think
Ruin
these
your
mummy
career.
milkers are going to go to court? I've drawn Godzilla, by the way. Not Godzilla. Oh, that's not. Sorry.
That's a duck.
Ignore that.
Isn't that rubber duck that chills around Canada?
Yeah, it is. I literally want to live
I
in
did
Canada.
not know about that.
Here it is. This can be the thumbnail.
Oh,
I can improve. I can improve
Yep.
it if you want.
Okay. I see that. I see that.
Is that Godzilla going into the Clappenator's ass?
Well,
What's
it's not the
zero?
Clappinator. It's the
Sorry,
the
the Clappen?
No, the Clappen. Yeah, it's being sucked up, but it also looks a bit like a long fart.
It,
It
I,
does actually.
it
looks
can't
it looks
see.
like a spiky fart.
Yeah, there's a spiky.
Well, yeah,
part.
it's a fart that betrays.
I just
Those are-
realised.
Those are
I
the sound
just-
waves created by it.
Have
I
you
just
guys ever had a
realised
fart
that-
that betrays?
No,
A-
but
a
I
risk-
felt
a
like my
shard.
asshole could betray me many times. I felt like my asshole could have betrayed me many times.
Have you sharted recently, Dan?
There was one time where I was looking at Fraser in the eyes. Sorry, I was looking at Bleep in the eyes. And
We can include that.
he looked at me and he went fart. So I pushed really hard. I did fart, but I got very close. You know, if I was a clothing company, I would have been called Touching Cloth.
I knew. Little
Not-
web look sketch.
Not
Yes.
not a white underpants day then. Definitely,
No,
yeah,
it was. No, I don't change my underwear. I don't think I own white underpants. It's just if I buy them brown, then like
White and grey underpants are a dangerous thing to own.
yeah, you just go brown and then you never have to change.
Or buy those pants that
That's
are
a hell of a
laced with
slogan
charcoal,
there.
so they keep all the smell in.
No, you need the silver ones which kill bacteria.
I just realised, going back to Godzilla's shits, they would probably rival Chernobyl in the amount of in how deadly they are.
Nah, Chernobyl was lit.
Quite literally, the ion radiation or whatever it was.
Nah, it was well good.
Now I want to rewatch Chernobyl.
It's not actually that good.
What?
Controversial opinion, Dan. Do
And
continue.
completely false, because he believes the opposite.
Oh, I know. He
No,
believes
no,
opposite.
no.
I wanted to.
It was just you know how the female character.
Oh yeah,
Not
it's
really.
because there's a woman in it. Okay, I see.
No, it's because she's not actually a real person. She
Yeah,
just
she's not
represents the whole scientific community, which I think is a bit cringe. And every time she was on the screen, it turned me off.
Because he was a
But that's
woman,
also
or
because
because
I'm
of
attracted
that.
to men.
Oh,
Got you.
yeah.
No wonder
Got
he's
you.
not attracted to big mummy milkers. He likes men. The weirder.
Yeah, that's probably
We've been
why.
saying this
You
for
know,
years.
now you say
Finally
it. Now
come
you
out.
say it, Joe.
Yeah.
No, I haven't come out. I'm still gay.
He's still in the closet, but he is gay. Just wants you to know that.
He's got
Yeah,
one
just so
foot
you know,
out.
I'm
We're
gay,
coaxing him. We're coaxing him. It's like
Sounds
a rat with cheese.
Is that what you do to them kids, though? You coax them in?
I coaxed him in.
This has been
Ah,
such a
I mean-
tangent.
That's
anyone
what
got
this
any
is.
more-
I've got a percent. In fact, no, Joe, you go. You go. We've been going in front of the line. It's
Here we go.
your turn, Joe.
This is it. I've been thinking about this for a while. Transgender female athletes that haven't gone
Transgender
through the full
female
transition. Yes. Have you
Right.
seen this shit?
Oh boy.
Oh no, I shouldn't have asked. Why did I ask?
What I'm talking about is men that identify as women but haven't had any of the biological or physiological changes.
They have had the physiological.
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about. Men that haven't
No,
had
no,
the changes but
also
identify as
they-
women.
I mean, they are
Then
women.
they compete in women's.
Just so we get our terminology right. They are women.
They are women.
Yes, obviously, yes, they are.
Trans
they
women
are
are women.
But
Suddenly, Dan is
question is-
the police.
is it
Quick,
fair on the other female athletes that were born as women?
just be better than them.
Well,
There's
in a
a-
way,
I think that's the most diplomatic answer we can give for this segment. Be
In
better.
a way-
Female rugby player who is at least twice the size as every other woman on that pitch, and I don't think that's quite fair, personally.
in a way, I just see it as them taking performance-enhancing drugs. So I think either let all women take performance-enhancing drugs or ban all transgender people.
Or start a new league.
What you should do is you should have some
It-
rules in
I
mind
don't
that
think
they
that'd be
have to reduce the amount of testosterone that they have to a level that is acceptable or similar to other biological women that were born women.
Well,
You know?
yeah,
We were talking about Godzilla's shit.
I know. We were
I mean,
talking about
To be
Chernobyl.
honest with you, there are probably some people
And River
in that
Clappen.
field that do Godzilla-sized shit. Just saying. You know?
I think
chances-
it's definitely more nuanced than you know,
Godzilla's shit.
They have it.
What?
Definitely more
Oh,
nuanced than
what?
Godzilla's shit.
Right,
That's what I'm
Larry.
saying.
It's not
We've
long.
moved on, Larry.
Larry,
We're not talking about
Larry,
turds anymore.
you're off the cast. You're
Yeah,
off the
get off.
cast.
Oh,
Get him
shut
out of here.
up.
Get up,
Shut
get
up.
out of here.
Shut up. Order.
It's one of those things where I feel like if you tell someone you can't compete because you have an unfair advantage, everyone's gonna get pissed off. But at the end of the day, from an objective point of view, they do. But from
Just
a
wanna make-
less
Make
objective,
it fair.
at the end of the day, they
Effectively.
transgender women are women.
Yeah.
So you can't,
I'm
you
not-
can't really
yeah,
say
I'm
sorry,
not gonna
you're
do
not
that.
a woman, you can't compete in this. But
From a-
equally,
from a-
I'd argue if they're on estrogen, you can't really say like
No,
if they
that's what I'm
competed
talking
in,
about. There are some women that compete that aren't on estrogen, and they just have fatty testosterone still.
Oh right, yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
on about.
From a purely sports science point of view, they arguably do have an advantage over their
Pretty
competition.
serious one.
I think
But
you equally can't make a transgender
Yeah,
sport
that's
thing,
why
'cause
it's
that's-
such
No,
a
you can't,
that's
yeah.
kind of like a
debated,
third class.
debated.
So at the end of the day, it's
Subject.
being. You have to. I feel like this is something you have to be harsh about, but no one will really like it. At the end of the day, if you do that, you can't compete.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just it's such an unfair advantage.
yeah, from a sports science view, it is unfair. But from a ethical point of view and a moral point of view, it's a very, very fine, wobbly line
Yeah.
to walk.
Because there was sorry, carry on. My bad. Apologies.
It's just a very fine and wobbly line to walk. Like, if you say yes, are you putting people in danger if they're doing full contact sports?
Yeah.
Are people going to get hurt, or are you just going to have a weight class or a league completely dominated by one person? You know.
Yeah.
I just think ban all transgender people.
Well, didn't take
Just,
as
just
long.
from life.
And this was the last ever episode of the FlubCast, guys.
I
Thanks
just
for.
don't think they deserve rights.
We've been hashtag cancelled. Cancel
Well,
us now.
I'm just saying, if transgender women want to be women, then they have to accept that they're going to have less rights naturally because they are women. And we,
Anyway,
as men,
moving on,
should be able to
Moving
dominate them and decide
We
what
move.
sandwiches we
We
want them to make for
move.
us.
We
Okay.
move on.
Like if I want like a cheese
going?
sandwich and they're here like you need your vegetables, slap them. Just slap them. Domestic violence. It's the solution.
Right.
And honestly,
I have a topic.
Christian marriages.
Order. The right honourable gentleman Joe has the floor.
I am not honourable.
Yeah. I watched. Yeah, we know you're not. That's why I said me. You just said. I watched a video of a male rapper, identifies as male, born a male rapper, who lifts weights for the enjoyment that he gets out of lifting weights. He's not like a bodybuilder or anything. He broke every single woman's weights record in a single video, just chilling in the gym. Which is,
Right.
Okay.
it's just.
But what's your point?
Just saying, I would argue it's not fair that there are women who haven't had the full change that are still have more testosterone than other women, biological women that were born as women. So it's not fair. Not fair on them for a sporting point of view to compete.
But then it's not fair from a moral point of view to cut them out of competitions.
I'm not saying cut them out. I'm saying
No.
Surely, logically, on a moral point of view, it is fair to cut them out of things.
No, but you want you understand where I'm coming from, though. You can't.
Diversity. You can't exclude people these days because then people get angry.
Where he's coming from.
No, but what I mean is, it's not fair on everyone else to have someone who objectively is better than them. And at the end of the day, I think
in a way
going
that's
back
different
to what,
from just being better at the thing in general.
yeah. Like,
It's like
purely just going back to like what I said about performance enhancing drugs. It is almost like they have gone on performance enhancing drugs, and I know, and normally someone would be banned for that. And the thing is, I'm all for trans rights and all that. Like, worthless shit.
Contrary to what you've said so far.
No, joking.
Complete spin on a dime.
But it's an unfortunate thing where you just have to be harsh and say like, I'm sorry. I know this isn't your fault. It wasn't your choice. But at the end of the day,
it's like me training for 6 months to be a boxer, to be told that I'm going to fight someone else who's been training for 6 months and then walk into the ring with prime Muhammad Ali.
well, no, it's like being put in welterweight and going up against like the heaviest weight class,
Yeah.
and you're like, right,
Yeah.
okay, you could run into me and I just go flying across the room. At the end of the day, I feel like the rules should be you can compete in women's sports if you're trans, but you have to be fully
To meet certain quotas, don't you?
well, no, you need
Like,
to fully transition
yeah.
and
Yeah.
at the end of at that point they are probably as much women as apart from the
Yeah. Apart from the like stuff you can't change, like bone structure and such things, but you know.
yeah. Well, no, they can change that now. I was
Oh,
watching a
God.
video on it and it's
Oh dear.
True,
it's
but,
talking
like-
about it. It's like
Say
yeah,
OG.
they so what they do is right, they lift up my face and they get basically like a sander and just sand my bones down. And it's like, bruh.
Ah. Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Really, it's kind of good that shit like that can happen though.
He's not convinced by the sounds of it.
No, it is good that things can happen. but-
It is good, yeah.
While you brought up bone structure, there are still, you know, broader women. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Like,
on
and
average, men are much broader than women.
What women who,
True.
when you punch, won't fall down, so you have to give them another one.
Dan,
I
I
call
really
them
want
two,
you to.
two stellar women.
I want you to walk up to Ronda Rousey and fucking punch her in the face and see how long you. Genuinely, you'd
Punch
die in
who?
a heartbeat. Ronda Rousey.
Ronda
Who?
Rousey.
Who, yeah, I'm sure she would, but I'm just saying the average woman, the one, she's like a 4 stellar woman.
She's about a 12 stellar woman, but I'm
I'm-
not gonna lie.
Mate, that's like
I've
12
never-
crates to Stella.
I've never
Who's-
witnessed
who's-
someone. I've never witnessed someone
We're
muddle their
measuring
own
women based
statements
on
in
how
such a
many
short amount of
stellars
time.
We need to knock.
Who's the biggest stellar woman you think? Like, out of all the women, how many stellars? Fuck's sake, you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I
No,
don't.
go on.
Which women are we
Go
talking
on.
about?
So-
here? Just any woman that I've
So
ever seen.
if or just
Or-
just a popular woman, you know, someone in the zeitgeist.
What?
Uh,
As in, the more stellars, the harder it is to knock. How many, you know,
Understood.
punches?
Right, so you're saying who would take the most Stellas?
Yeah.
what woman would take?
You know, what woman, if you said make me a sandwich and they said no, how many stellars would it take for her to make you a sandwich?
I'm not sure.
I'm not. Probably someone. Probably a woman does MMA, but I don't know.
I think Zarya would
MMA.
probably take like she's
She's
Russian.
So we're
real.
talking fictional. So we're talking
Wait, are we-
fictional.
If we're talking fictional, then Big Mummy Milker, 9'3", has that can rip your throat
No,
out.
she
she's on
looks
smoke.
she looks like she could take like 3 stellars to the face and then
No.
Nah,
she's
nah,
got
nah,
a
nah.
lot more than 3 stars.
Wait, if we're talking about
No.
fictional women, we're also talking about that she's a vampire. That
no,
changes
that,
things a
that
bit.
doesn't come
She's
into
on
it.
smoke.
No.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
it's
just
only
if they were.
Alright,
Alright, I
physical.
9'3" or 6 or whatever it is.
No, but it's a stellar to the
You
face.
won't be
It
able to
has be
reach.
to the face. No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter about height. It's
Oh, you're talking about who could take a fucking knock.
yeah. That's a stellar.
I reckon Dolly
Uh,
Parton could take a knock. She's seen some shit.
Not the first one that came to mind, admittedly, but
Aye, but you fucking know. Or like any of the old biddies off EastEnders. They've
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Anyone from
I'm
EastEnders.
not gonna lie. Anyone who lives in
yeah,
Ends,
that.
in there's some scary grandmas out there, pal.
Yeah, man.
Like, oof,
they on smoke,
I've-
they carry some hefty shit around in them bags, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
that's a
Ooh, who
bag
would-
full
who
of
would
loads
win?
of tins.
Grandmas from Ends or babushkas.
Babushkas.
Oh yeah, no, babushkas are on
Babushkas.
smoke. Babushkas
Yeah,
are on
but
smoke.
babushkas are on smoke, but I feel like old English women have that like English spirit, you know, and especially from London, they probably lived through the Blitz and didn't even notice.
Damn,
Yeah, but
the Russian women won the war.
Yeah,
Yeah, we won the war as well.
yeah, but you could also get like one of the angels of death that just fucking sat plinking Nazis all day, and like
Yeah,
that's
man,
a
she
hard
would go
war
Like that,
woman.
that one female Russian sniper who killed like 300 Nazis.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it
something.
390 or
Yeah,
something?
you can play. I've played her in Company of Heroes.
Okay. Got a bit of a different topic. So We recently rediscovered and started playing GTA again.
Did we?
Yeah, we just did it without you.
You were there. I have the receipts.
No, that's a receipt, so it definitely happened.
And I would not. Such a conflicting feeling about that game, specifically online. I know Dan has probably more valid reasons than me, considering I'm still living off money a hacker gave me.
I've officially hit $0 in GTA.
What?
Oh my god.
You hit 0.
All my money
I'm
got
richer
robbed
than
off
you.
of me by Rockstar, and then I've just been really stupid and buying cars and shit.
Is robbed the
No, Rockstar was well within their rights to take
Yeah.
that money from you.
But why did they target me, who had the least amount of money from all the hackers, and not fucking anybody else?
Well, I want to point out. In this situation, the money that a few of us got, at least in most of the
I wasn't
instances.
present at this.
Lies.
No,
I wasn't.
but
Not
this was
this main one that
years
you
ago,
had.
right?
Yeah, no, I wasn't
Yeah.
there either.
I don't think I was there either. I think it was mostly Adam and Noel,
No,
wasn't
no, Larry, you were there. It was
Yeah,
me,
get fucked, like,
Larry.
get fucked, Larry.
I think Larry was there. Me, Larry, Adam, and Noel, and maybe Leon at the time. So it might. So Larry
I
might
reckon
not
Leon
be
was
there.
there.
And
No, Leon's balling.
no one was even
You're
asking.
bald.
No one were even asking for money, which is odd. But it just started giving everyone money directly into their bank account. You didn't even have to pick it up. So for like years now, I've just been living off that. And with GTA, they're just getting. It might be different for you guys because I know we don't do too many of the actual activities, but we just end up making our own fun and just try and mess with the game as much as possible, really. Like,
Yeah.
'cause
Make your own. Make a YouTube channel.
I've not given a fuck about any of the content that they've released in the last 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
I
the
don't really
game
know who
mode.
it's for though, because
I
it's
don't
so insanely expensive.
It's such a pay-to-win game now. Like,
Well, the thing is, there's a reason people hack.
Yeah.
Because why?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't
Like,
you?
there's different types of hackers. There's the ones that will just fuck with you to no end, and there's hackers that will just give money to other people.
there's
And,
also the fun kind of hackers that spawn like a fucking
windmills.
turbine. Yeah, wind
Destroy your
turbine.
own car.
No, spawn a wind turbine. I think me and Adam had one of those. Spawn a wind turbine. like-
outside the garage.
No,
of
they
the
spawned it.
apartment building.
They spawned it in the middle of a road, but so the turbines were clipped through the floor, so you could drive a
Yeah.
car up to it and get flung over the top halfway across the map.
Wasn't there one who spawned us all in a bus that was in the sky and we just rode around the map for a bit? I think.
Yeah, I remember that
I
as
think
well.
that, yeah. Remember that hacker or a couple of hackers that we met at one bit, and I just tried to fuck with as much as possible.
I do.
You know,
Oh
but
yeah.
when
I mean,
the-
it did
like,
annoy me because the amount of times when it be the money hacker, and we'd all basically, when there's a money hacker, you turn into like a slave.
you beeline it.
High tier gremlin.
But Brandon was at the point where he had more money than he had to spend.
More
This
money
is
than
before all
sense.
the ridiculous stuff. So he'd just go around just pissing off the hacker and causing the hacker to stop giving money. The amount of times where I'm
Well-
like, Brandon, stop it!
I won't deny that, but to be fair, this hacker in question, if I remember it correctly, was a bit scummy.
Yeah, they all are.
No,
Didn't
but that
you make
one
one
in
believe that
particular.
you're a woman once?
That was
No, that was
not
Leon.
Leon
That was Leon.
probably
Was Leon.
messaged him and was like, "Yeah, I'm a woman," and he was like, "Oh, nice."
And and I think we all got money because of that. I'm sure we did it at some
You
point.
did, yeah. But yeah, it's far easier to make your own fun in GTA than to do any of the activities that it actually gives you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they added this, like, I remember when heists or, like, new content came out in GTA, and it's all you heard about. And now they've added an entire island for a heist. Not heard a thing about it outside of the game.
No, I've seen a
Right.
couple people play it on YouTube, and that's it.
We should visit the new island.
You have to
How
have a
much does it
submarine.
cost?
You have to.
I've
You have
got
to
one.
spend like 4 mil on a submarine or something.
I've got a submarine.
What, the Russian sub?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Not the little yellow piece of shit.
No, I've got the Russian sub.
No, he doesn't. He's lying.
I do. I genuinely. After this podcast, I'll go on GTA and show you.
Receipts, or it didn't happen.
Alright then. Yeah. Well, he's offering to give us receipts. So.
All right then.
Well, either way, we'll probably end up going on GTA after this. So.
Oh yeah. What time are we on, by the way?
We are on 8 minutes past 9.
No, I know the time. Wait, what?
We're about an hour in, I think. Maybe like
an hour
50
and 5
minutes.
minutes. We're an hour and 5 minutes into.
Should we? We're kind of running out of topics.
Should I call it there?
Yeah.
Right. Our
We
mission for
went
next
on
week.
more tangents. We went on more tangents than I expected us to, considering
That's-
we started this with
Well,
pretty
we should be
much
going
nothing.
on tangents.
Yeah, that's I know. I say that as a positive. I'm saying it's a positive. I'm just saying.
I feel like I didn't flub that much this episode. I feel like I'm letting you down. I'm sorry.
Nah. Joe's the king of that with subliminal. Or what was it?
That's a good
Submersive.
question.
You tried to say subliminal. And
Said
you
submersive
came
instead.
Up, submersive.
Yeah, no, that
I
was
mean,
good.
to be fair, I'm not wrong because you were going underneath.
Joe was 4 tangents ahead. He knew we were going to end up talking about submarines.
Yeah, man.
But before we end this video properly, do I name this video Clappen or Submersive? I don't know.
Submersive.
Probably.
Clappen.
Or you call it submersing the Clappen.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or we could go clickbait, full caps. He submersed the what?
Gone wrong, gone sexual.
And then you can have.
Nah, that's a
things
bit
with
too
one
old.
film.
Yeah.
The MS,
Well,
the MS
And then you know
that
where
was
there's
the
where there's white space, Brandon, put like boobs or something.
No, don't put
But,
actual.
I mean,
boobs.
No, what you need to do is take a really close-up picture of your face and just shove it in the top corner.
Brandon, can you wait? I'll put a picture in. I'll see if you can use it.
you'll see if I can use it. That makes me a bit on edge.
You should always be on edge.
Edging or on edge of my seat, kind of.
Also, Joe, the stocks have closed now. How are you looking?
No, I don't want to know. That's just the issue.
You know how
I
you
don't
were
want
less
to
in the
know.
red?
Pardon?
You know how you were less in the red?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're back to normal.
Oh, bruh.
What will that one do?
What is that
So you could
picture?
zoom in on that.
Wait,
When
where are
did you take that photo? Why are you at M&S?
So basically, my sister loves M&S, and so does my dad. So every time me and my dad go, and my sister can't come because she's got online learning, I take a picture of either me or my dad outside M&S. We come home to my sister like genuinely angry.
You look like you're doing the I had to do it to impose. It just panned down.
Do you not have a nicer
To
mask?
zoom in on?
Do I not have
Wow.
a nicer mask? No, I just prefer the medical ones. I don't
Freak.
like the idea of a mask that you put back on.
That's fair.
Also, Brandon,
That's fair.
give me your Steam account.
You want me to give me your Steam account?
No, you already have my Steam account.
This is true. I will give you my Steam account. Yes. Just the entirety of it, all of it. What do you want me to zoom in on before I stop the recording fully? What do you want me to actually zoom in on this picture?
His forehead.
Anything you want. Whatever you
Yeah,
want.
his gigantic forehead.
Find his hairline.
Alright, that's it. Okay then.
Also, just I'm going to grow my hair out as long as possible till this lockdown ends.
I'm doing the same.
To what end? Sorry, I was calling you bald.
No, lockdown.
Oh, lockdown.
There's a bit of a difference between those two
we,
things.
Yeah.
we're gonna stop calling you bald before lockdown ends. You realise
No.
this?
You're going to stop calling me bold.
Yeah, man. It's gonna take at least 4 or 5 years though.
Oh, true. Also, if you look at the picture, right, you know how there's the house in the middle has like snow on it, and the house to the left of it doesn't. That's definitely.
Oh,
a wheat
ganja.
house.
Growing
Yeah.
ganja.
Where was this?
Alright, I'll just end the video there. On that bombshell.
On that bombshell.
But yeah,
Good night.
But didn't we already end? Aren't we
No.
going to say goodbye?
No, we've had like 3 false endings. This is the actual ending.
Anyway.
We've ended.